Now we'll be live. Okay, I think we're live. You guys let me know if you can hear me okay. If you can, give me a shout out real quick. Tell me where you're watching from. It's been a while since I've used this streaming software. I'm using Streamlabs OBS, so I always have to make sure everything's working okay. Awesome. Back-to-back Sweden. Edinburgh, Scotland. Awesome. Got some Germany. Denver, one of my favorite cities. Oh, fishy. Sorry, didn't mean to scare you. All right, all my Scottish and Scotland and England followers, what'd you guys think of that soccer game yesterday? I'm guessing Scotland probably okay with it. Maybe England not so much. Budapest, Hungary, very cool. That one guy, I'll be in Massachusetts in a couple of weeks. Cape Town, South Africa, very cool. And Johannesburg. It's crazy, we keep getting back-to-back from the same. Like we had back-to-back from Sweden. We got back-to-back from South Africa there. The Netherlands, not Holland. We got several from South Africa. Very cool. Belize. I've been to Belize. Very cool. Yeah, I'm a little surprised it was 0-0 also. Football, yes. I'm sorry. All right, so let me tell you what we're going to be doing today. I don't know how long we're going to stream for. We'll just kind of see how it goes. But we're going to stream. We're going to look at some memes, do some Q&A. I want to share with you some of my favorite historical memorabilia that I have. And I am going to do a... I thought I saw somebody pulling in my driveway, but it was somebody pulling out across the street. I am going to do a stream where I talk about some of my favorite books that I have in my collection. So that might be as soon as tomorrow. It's going to depend on the weather here, because if the weather's good, my wife and kids are all going to go swimming at her mom's house, and I'll be home alone, and I'll be able to stream. So we'll see. And yeah, like today, it's just me and my middle child. My 13-year-old son are here. The rest of them are at Grandma's house right now, so they went out to lunch. So, first meme we're looking at here. Napoleon, after escaping Elba, from Elba on 26 February with 700 men marching into Paris and having 200,000 men ready to rock by June. Hello, boys! I'm back! One of my all-time favorite movies, by the way. Independence Day, the first one. Loved it when it first came out. What do I think of Napoleon III? He was like the great value version of the original, right? I mean, he was like, he had the name, but little else in common with his uncle. Hello, fellow monarchs. A Home Alone watch stream. I wish I could. I would love to do a stream where like, we watched a movie or something, but the problem is... copyright issues would come into play there. Armenis, thank you for watching from London, England. Very cool. The Independence Day sequel was very meh to me. I didn't really care for it all that much. I guess maybe because I had such high expectations as much as I loved the original. Sacre bleu. All right, what do we got next? I'm just kind of going in order of what's on what's in the meme submission channel on Discord. World War I is happening. Meanwhile, Tsar Nicholas II. Pictures with his bicycle, laying on a rock. I don't know. If I had a white jacket on like that, I don't think I'd be laying on a rock. I just feel like that's maybe not the best use of your clothing. What's a good World War II movie on Netflix? I don't know about movie, but there's some great documentaries on Netflix. World War II in Color is a good one. You want a couple of good World War II movies you can watch for free? YouTube has The King's Choice for free with ads. Is Glory a good movie? Yeah, Glory is a fantastic movie. Watching from Atlanta, Napoleon III was Moltke the younger of his age. Yes, we are close to 150,000 subs. Probably hit it later today if we have a good day for subscribers. Let's take a look and see exactly where we're at right now. The official number is 149,406. So yeah, we're super close. That's crazy. We just hit 100,000 in May. So it's been awesome. And thank you guys for that. Is part 3 coming out today? Yeah, it should be. I haven't recorded it yet, but I'm going to record that later after the stream. I have seen 1917. It's very good. What do I think about Churchill? I think he was the right leader for the time for the UK. Dermot, I think I would probably agree with that assessment. Nicholas, I do believe, was generally a good person, but yeah, he was not cut out to be a leader at all. The Pranado, thank you. I have played War of Rights on my gaming channel. I haven't played it for probably 6 or 8 months. I think the last time I played it was right after Artillery came out, but I have played it. I play it here and there. The Bowman, thank you. I appreciate that. I have not seen Grey Wolf. Das Boot is on Netflix. Very cool. Yes, I have been watching the Euro. I watched the Scotland and England match yesterday. I was rooting for Scotland. Is that okay? I was rooting for Scotland, even though my team's goalkeeper Sam Johnston is on the England team because I'm a West Brom fan. Oh, by the way, since you guys always seem to be interested in such things, this is the shirt that I'm wearing today. Let me make sure I get it where you guys can see it. This is it says warning may start talking about history, and this is actually a it's I think it's on the merch for my gaming channel is where I have that shirt. So and by the way, new merch going to be coming out in the next couple of days because we're about to announce the winner of the new logo contest that I did, designing a new logo for the channel, and I'm already working on merch with that logo because I already know who won because the vote's still going on, but it's really super one-sided. Like the first place one is way ahead to where it's not going to change. So I've started doing some merch designs with the logo, and it's actually coming out pretty good. I already ordered one for myself, so let's see. Yeah, I will be doing Oversimplified's Mini War series. I assure you I will get to every Oversimplified video at some point. Trying to space them out because there's only so many of them, and I don't want to do all the Oversimplifieds at once and be done and have no more to do. So that one guy, yeah, I just got my Don't Make Me Repeat Myself history shirt as well. Valiant Hearts, yeah, I got to finish that at some point because we haven't finished the story. Yeah, Hungary tied France. Isn't that crazy? Didn't see that one coming. Okay, let's look at another one. On this day in military history, the safety brief was born. That does not seem like an effective way to fire artillery. Germany's beaten Portugal. That doesn't surprise me. Germany's fantastic. Yeah, and Christian Pulisic won the... well, he didn't win it by himself, but he was on the team that won the Champions League, which is pretty awesome as an American. Wow, football spoiler, somebody said. Poland versus Spain. I don't know if I'll watch that one or not. Nelson, I appreciate that. Why? Mortars are a thing for a reason. You're right. You can't defeat me. Oh, so this is from Thor. That's... can we just take a moment and... All right. Completely off historical topics, I want to talk about some of my celebrity crushes because as soon as I see this meme, of course, I'm thinking of Cate Blanchett, who plays that character, and she's one of my celebrity crushes, right? If I had to name a couple of women that I just find absolutely gorgeous, Cate Blanchett's one, Natalie Dormer is one. Who's the other one? Rebecca Ferguson, who's in the Mission Impossible movies. Oh, yeah. Yeah, very attractive woman. Okay, anyway. You can't defeat me. I know, but he can. And it's winter. That's awesome. General Winter. Genghis Khan. He attack. Fam, this dude just attack. Yeah, all 3-1 for Germany now. Yeah, Germany's so good. They've got a good team. Chris Hemsworth's your celebrity crush. All right. Nothing wrong with that. He's an attractive dude. Plus, he's got the accent going. I mean, I guess it depends on where you're from if you're attracted to the accent. I have not seen Fiddler on the Roof. 1917 I really liked, but I think the bar is so low because we have such a lack of quality World War I movies like we do with World War II. If that had been a World War II movie, I don't know if people would have been raving about it as much as they do. But we just don't have that many really good World War I movies, and it's sad because there's so much great content there to make into movies. 2 of Germany's goals were own goals. That's crazy. Please look away. Ignore the game. There's nothing to see here. Let's go. In and out. 20-minute adventure. Not so much. Got a lot of German memes going on right now. Germany waitings, please. You lost something. What is it? The war works every time. Oh, man. Who do I think will win the Euro? So I think Germany has got a good chance of winning. If I had to bet on somebody, I'd probably say Germany. But we'll see. I do find space interesting, crazy man. And my son's really into space. He actually is really into astronomy and space and engineering and all those sorts of things. So, oh, Santis, yes, I will hook you up right now. There we go. My opinion of the assassination of Julius Caesar. I think it's one of those times in history when the thing they thought they were preventing, they actually made happen. You know, they were all worried about a dictator, and they ended up getting an emperor out of that whole deal. It took a few years, but eventually they did. Hacksaw Ridge is fantastic. It's not only one of my favorite stories from history, it's also a really good war movie. It's like really well done. You know, Mel Gibson's a fantastic director. So I actually was just watching it again last night. Because I've become friends with a lady named Janine, who is the PR director for the Desmond Doss Foundation. And so I've been, learning all I could about Desmond Doss. Yeah, Lost Battalion's not a bad movie. Who's my favorite dictator? None, because I don't like dictators. Chris, that's awesome. Downfall was a fantastic movie. Very, very good. I have not seen Star Wars The Bad Batch. All right, when you're a Civil War soldier with a leg infection and you see a guy coming over with a saw and whiskey, well, this is going to hurt like a mother. Yeah, sad but true. Thomas, that's actually a really good point. And, a lot of people talk about the fact that they claim that more Americans have German ancestry than anything else. That's not actually true. What is true is that more Americans claim German ancestry than any other nationality. Very few Americans claim British ancestry. I think by and large because it's much further back in their history. Most people like myself who are mostly English Americans or British Americans, that ancestry goes back several hundred years, and so you don't really know about it. Whereas people whose ancestors, like my wife, whose ancestors come from Hungary or Wales, that's much more recent. It was like her great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents. So there's more of a connection to those ties. I think that's a big reason why. American Sniper, I'd give it a good 7. I thought it was pretty good. Not amazing, but pretty good. I haven't seen Weird History. Carlos, I'd give the new Midway movie an 8. Insane what's going on. Who do I think is better, General Lee or General MacArthur? Lee. I didn't realize that one was a video. We already saw those ones. All right, we got behind somehow. We'll be home by Christmas. Abraham Lincoln. Oh, James Buchanan, Abraham Lincoln, Andrew Johnson. Accurate. Favorite British Prime Minister? William Pitt the Younger, just because dude was 24 when he got elected Prime Minister. That's crazy. New Hearts of Iron 4 videos. No, we were We're hopefully going to start a new series soon. No, I think Chamberlain is fairly maligned. But it's a fair point to say that really nobody else was doing any better when it came to dealing with Hitler at the time. St. George's Chapel, as in the one in Windsor Castle? Yeah, I hope so. If the stupid COVID wasn't a thing, I'd be going there in a couple weeks. Oh, thank you. Chian? Am I pronouncing that right? Cyan? I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that, but thank you. Most underrated U.S. president, in my opinion. Ooh. And Braden, thank you. Appreciate that. Underrated. Grant. I think Grant did a lot more positive for this country than people realize. And I'm a little biased because I really like Grant, the human being, a lot. Check out German Soldier Remembers World War II. Okay, I'll have to check that out, Braden. Nelson, I can't go to the UK, vaccinated or not, because travel is not opened between the two countries. No, I don't think Jimmy Carter's underrated. I don't think he was a good president. I think he's a fantastic human being. Anthony, haven't done any War Thunder streams. Here's the deal. Let me take a minute and address this. A couple of things. Number one, I am going to continue to do my gaming channel and as often as possible daily content on that channel. But I want you to understand, let me give you how things are, like the landscape right now. I have two channels. A lot of you have been around for a long time with my gaming channel, which I've had for almost 5 years now. Couple of things that go into me making content for the two channels. Number one, the average time I spend making a video for the gaming channel is about an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on the game. Probably about 45 minutes to an hour to make a video for Crusader Kings 3, an hour and a half to 2 hours when I make a video for Grand Tactician, which are the two games I primarily do. On the other hand, for this channel, the length of the video is pretty much how long it takes me to make the video. So if I have a 20-minute reaction video, it probably takes me about a half hour by the time I record the video, upload it. Sometimes I have to go in and do a little editing with the sound to balance the sound out a little better. But by and large, about a half hour for a video. I get about 20 times the views on this channel that I do on the gaming channel. So that's a big factor in all this. I'm putting in twice the time on the gaming channel for 1/20th of the number of views. So when time is limited, this channel gets the priority. And when I don't have a lot of time to do a lot of streams, I'm going to stream on this one more likely than I am on the gaming channel just because of the reach. That's just the reality. Now, I am very dedicated to continuing the gaming channel. I'm probably at the point where I could just stop doing the gaming channel and it wouldn't hurt me in terms of my finances a whole lot compared to what I do on this channel. But I love the gaming channel. I love the community we have on the gaming channel. And so I have no plans to stop doing the gaming channel. It just means I might not be able to stream that much on there. I'll try to here and there. But anyway, that's that. Yeah, I see somebody saying about Tyler, I think there's still one grandson he has alive. Yes, the last Civil War pension receiver, I saw that. And actually, there was a Civil War widow who died just in the last few years. Most overrated president, Franklin Roosevelt. Easy. That's just my opinion, though. Do I believe that Hitler escaped to Germany? If I had to put odds on it, escaped to Argentina from Germany, I would say 30% chance that he did. That's about as high as I'm willing to go. But I say more than most conspiracy theories, I'm willing to entertain that possibility with that one. Germany just got a fourth one? That's crazy. Are you scared of the possibility that an angry Austrian man might fail art school? I'm not sure. Who was the first president born in the USA? Des, it would be Martin Van Buren was the first president who was born after the United States existed as a country. The Door, thank you. Tips for searching German genealogy records pre-unification. FamilySearch.org. FamilySearch.org has a lot of German church records. So check that out, and it's free. If I had to visit any country in Africa, which one would it be? I don't know, like, enough about Africa as far as, like, the safety of visiting countries. You know, like, what countries is it pretty safe for an American to visit versus not? But absolutely Egypt would be on my list. All things being equal and safety not being a concern and all those sorts of things. Egypt for sure. Nigeria only because I have roots in Nigeria. Some of my genealogical roots, at least according to my DNA test, come from there. So that would be one as well. There's a lot of questions. I'm trying to catch up on some of these. First president to not have an English accent. Well, honestly, I don't think any of our presidents would have had an English accent because most of the U.S. presidents were multiple generation Americans by the time they were born. And they had a very unique accent that wasn't American like we have today, but also wasn't English. I don't remember exactly what it was called, but if you watch the TV show John Adams, the miniseries, you'll hear that accent on there. Favorite pharaoh, Ramses II. Just don't say you're an American and you'll be fine. 4-1 Germany. I loved the John Adams series. Absolutely, yeah. We could take a look at some scenes from that. Do I think Napoleon was a hero or cruel dictator? Somewhere in between. I don't think he was a cruel dictator. I also wouldn't call him a hero. I don't think he was a bad dude by any stretch of the imagination. Compared to most modern dictators, wasn't bad at all. Okay, let's take a look at a couple more memes, and then I want to share with you guys some of my favorite historical memorabilia that I have. Vlad the Impaler, we could do something about. The founding fathers spoke like Paul Giamatti. I am not a history teacher. I did go to college to be a history teacher, but I've never actually worked in that field. Sir, you shouldn't bring Rasputin to these important meetings. Tsar Nicholas II. Dude, you're embarrassing me in front of the wizards. That's awesome. You dare me to do a southern accent? I can't do accents at all. I can recognize accents. I'm actually really good at picking out people's accents, whether it's American accents or UK accents. I can usually hear an accent, and 9 times out of 10, I can tell you what part of the country they're from, whether that's in the UK or America. Just in America, because I've traveled so much and I've kind of picked up on those things. In the UK, I've just done a lot of studying into the accents and things like that I can usually pick it out, but I can't imitate them at all. I've read a little bit of Mexican history. All right, one more, and then we'll look at some memorabilia. When someone asks why a Christian army sacked Rome in 1527. Yep, that is totally accurate. So if you're familiar with the Sabaton song, The Last Stand, that's what that's totally about, is the Christian army that sacked Rome. They were not being paid, and so they sacked Rome, basically going pillaging because they weren't getting paid. I don't know anything about Russian accents. Who do I think is worse, Stalin or Hitler? That's like saying what's worse, getting stabbed in the chest or the stomach. I don't know. Yeah, Santa Anna's story is pretty crazy. All right, let me show you some of my favorite things that I have, that I've collected over time. This one I actually just got in the last couple of weeks. This is from my trip, and I've actually got to get these videos edited so you can see my trip to Toccoa. This is actually made from one of the pieces of wood that was in the barracks in Toccoa, Georgia. So if you've seen Band of Brothers, the camp where they trained, this is a piece of one of the barracks, one of the original barracks. There were pieces of wood, when they started restoring the camp, pieces of wood that were too far deteriorated to be able to be reused in rebuilding the barracks. And so they cut them up into pieces to help raise money for the restoration. And they've got these couple of coins that they've put into them. Like this one here says Camp Toccoa at Currahee, 1922 to 1944. And then this one actually has the insignia of the 4 regiments that trained there. Have I touched an M1 Garand? I have. So I just farted? No, I did not. I don't know why you even said that. But so this was really cool. And you can actually get one of these if you go to Camp Toccoa, to their little store that they have there. You can buy one of these. And so I thought that was a great way to not only kind of have a piece of one of my favorite stories from history, but also to help, kind of raise money for the camp in the process. 4-2 now. Oh, hey. Am I a preacher? Yes, I do. Actually, I'm preaching tomorrow. So I do preach at a church on Sunday mornings. Camp Toccoa is in Toccoa, Georgia, which is in the northeast part of Georgia. I know why you're saying that. I'm sitting on my, it's this chair. It's my gaming chair. When I move, it's kind of creaking and making a noise. So that's why. Okay, you've heard me talk about this one here. But let me tell you the story behind this one. So this is a piece of a tree called the Tory Oak. So the Tory Oak, if you've ever seen the movie The Patriot with Mel Gibson. Now, I'm not going to recommend that movie as a great source of history, but one thing it does portray accurately is how ugly the American War for Independence was in the Carolinas. Chris does nothing. Thank you. That's a good point about how close pyramids are to modern civilization. The war in the Carolinas, the War for Independence, was crazy ugly, and it was a very common thing for loyalist Americans to capture and hang patriot Americans and vice versa. Three of my ancestors were hanged as loyalists during the American Revolution. Their names were William Riddle, Ned Sizemore, and Francis Winstead. Ned Sizemore and William Riddle were hanged on this tree, the Tory Oak, by a guy named Benjamin Cleveland, who was a Patriot militia colonel. William Riddle was a captain, and Ned Sizemore was, I think, a civilian that was working with the Loyalist militia. But the tree they were hanged on is well known in Wilkesboro, North Carolina. It was destroyed in a storm like 20 or 30 years ago, and so they cut it up into pieces to sell as souvenirs, and I got a piece of the tree when I visited there the last time. Pretty crazy. Who's my favorite U.S. president? Teddy Roosevelt and Abraham Lincoln would be my two favorite. Yeah, it was totally no holds barred in Carolina for sure. Petition to get him to 100K on the gaming channel by the end of the year. It could happen. We're getting enough subs on this channel that if we can just kind of funnel some of you guys over to my gaming channel, we could absolutely get there. Tories, yeah, the Tories were the party that were in power in England that were prosecuting the war against the Americans. And so, yeah, it's kind of the same party, I guess. What assassination was more impactful for future events? Definitely Lincoln's. Lincoln's completely changed the destiny of freed slaves in the South. EU4, Emil, I'm going to be playing EU4 very, very soon on the gaming channel, actually. I believe you mean TR. Yes, Dylan, you are correct. Have I gotten my silver play button yet? No. In fact, I filled out a thing the other day for YouTube, because yesterday was a year to when my daughter got her silver play button, and she was at like 120,000 before they finally YouTube has to send you a thing that says, hey, congratulations, you're eligible for a silver play button, fill this out to receive your play button. And so I haven't gotten that yet, and I actually filled out a thing the other day asking them about that, and I haven't heard back yet. So my gaming channel, the link's in the description. No, I was not a Navy SEAL. I have not served in the military. AC, thank you for that. But I have incredible amount of respect for people who have served. I actually looked into being a chaplain in the military in the early years of my marriage, and Just kind of wasn't the right time for that. Okay. Victoria 2, no, but I'll probably play Victoria 3 when it comes out. Have I ever met a German vet? Yes, actually. In the last church that I served in. Mawe, thank you. Do I think monarchies will last? Yeah, I think so. I think they will for a while anyway. In my last church, where I was actually a youth pastor, we had a guy who was in the German army during World War II. A really great guy. One of my favorite people to talk to. Had a real strong accent and just a super nice guy. His grandkids were in my youth group. All right, so favorite historical themed video game. Right now it's Grand Tactician Civil War. So this one, it's not really historic memorabilia, but it has a lot of meaning for me. A couple of weeks ago, when I did the 3 miles up to the top of Currahee. So if you've seen Band of Brothers, you know they talk in the first episode about 3 miles up, 3 miles down. When I got to the top, I grabbed this rock from the top of Currahee, just to remember that day that I did the 3 miles up. And I'll get that video up for you guys very soon. In fact, I showed a preview before on a previous stream, and I'll do another one now. Let me find my... I think it's on this hard drive right here. Let me see if I can find you guys a couple of clips from my trip that I haven't put up yet that are in the upcoming videos. I just got to get them finished editing. Canyon Bridges, thank you. I appreciate that. Let's see. All right, so here's one of my videos from, if you've seen Band of Brothers, you're familiar with Currahee, the mountain that they had to climb, or to run up and down. So here's one of... Oh, I got to get it on the right side here first. Hold on. I have two monitors, and sometimes I forget which one is the one that you guys can see. So I think it's this one here. Here we go. We'll get back to the memes here in a minute. Here we go. So this is Currahee. This is what it looks like going up Currahee. It's pretty crazy. I'll find you a view from the top here. This is when I finished.
Well, I was told you haven't finished until you touch the marker that they would hit to signify they were at the top, and then they could start back down. It's not as high as what they show in Band of Brothers. It's down here on the ground, but this is the reference mark. Now I've completed Currahee.
So when you hit that little marker, that's when you have officially finished Currahee. So here's a view from the top. This is when we were sandblasting the graffiti. That's JD from History Underground with his drone. And I got my drone out as soon as he was done with his. I was afraid we would crash our drones into each other, so we didn't do them at the same time. Speaking of JD and History Underground, and if you haven't already subscribed to his channel, if you guys like my history on location videos at all, you have to check out his channel because his are fantastic. And he does some really cool stuff on his channel. Which general would I have a beer with? Grant. Definitely Grant. Grant and then maybe Patton. I am very interested in Greek mythology. All right, here we go. And I dropped the cigars with General Lee's orders wrapped around them. Oh, man. Huey Long, I don't know a lot about Huey Long. I've seen the movie that came out about him. Discord, Franco, the link should be in the description of this and every video to join Discord. My daughter has a YouTube channel. She's got about 170,000 subscribers. I have played Hold Fast. We actually created a regiment, but we just, couldn't get a lot of traction with it, really. German panzer divisions evading Allied reconnaissance in the Ardennes. It's Shaq hiding behind a tree. Patton did really slap shell-shocked soldiers. Yeah, there were two different incidents. I think one was in Sicily. I don't know if the other one was in Africa. about the Spanish Civil War. I've got to learn some about the Spanish Civil War first. The French. We have learned from our past and will never let so much power be in the hands of a single person. Minutes later. OMG, Napoleon. Bonjour. I can't remember what we called the regiment. Knights of History, I think it was called. Your grandfather was in the Luftwaffe. Very cool. My favorite TV show. A couple all-time favorite TV shows. Justified. Phenomenal. Absolutely love Justified. Breaking Bad is really, really good. Superfed. Thank you. Have I heard of the Pig War? I have heard of it, but I couldn't tell you anything about it. Philippine-American War. Hey, cool, interesting story about the Philippine-American War. The very first American soldier killed in the Philippine-American War was my cousin. I've actually been to his grave, and I don't think I have the picture of me at his grave handy. But here he is. I've been to his grave. It's in Connellsville, Pennsylvania. He was killed July 31st, 1898, right on the beach as they landed in Manila Bay. I have been to Oregon. What's my favorite movie? Oh, wow, that's tough. Band of Brothers is my all-time favorite anything, and that's technically a TV show, I guess. But favorite movie? Wow. It changes with time. I really like the movie Lincoln a lot. Mercer County, Ohio, very cool. Ethan, what a heritage. Grandson of a Holocaust survivor and a World War II soldier. Who was better general, Grant or Lee? I think Lee was a better tactician, Grant was a better strategist. I have been to the Alamo. In fact, there's a video here on the channel of my visit to the Alamo. Okay, so about the emails about genealogy. I get like 15 of them a day. I am having a hard time keeping up. I'm going to make a video announcement about that. I'm not doing any genealogy right now because the requests got out of hand. I've gotten 300 requests for genealogy, so I have to kind of step back. I just don't have the time to get to them right now. So I apologize if I haven't responded to your email about that. But I will get there. I have played War of Rights. Insane has to go do his job now. Strategy and tactics. Tactics, we're talking what happens on a single battlefield, winning a battle. Strategy is much more the campaign, the war itself. Hobby outside of history, other than genealogy, I don't know if I have any non-historical related hobbies, believe it or not. Famous ancestors, Pocahontas. I descend like 4 different ways from Pocahontas. Both my parents are descended from Pocahontas. James IV, the King of Scotland, probably the 2 most recent ones. All right, let me share something else with you that I've got here that's really cool. So this is a flag that I got in September 2002 on my honeymoon when we visited the USS Arizona Memorial in Pearl Harbor. This flag flew over the Arizona Memorial on August 20th, 2002. So that's one of my favorite little pieces of memorabilia that I have. A flag that I've never taken it out of the package. It's always been in here. But that was a great visit, and I wish I would have been doing videos back then, but obviously it was 2002. You know, nobody had cell phone cameras or things like that. I do have video from my trip, and maybe I'll upload it sometime. Was it expensive, the flag? I don't think it was. I don't know a lot about the history of India. I would change lots of things in history if I could, but, you know, here's the thing about history. You change something in history you think makes things better, and you might actually make things worse. You know, in hindsight, for example, it might look on the surface like it was a good thing that the Entente won World War I, but in the grand scheme of history, you might say, well, it might have been better if Germany won World War I in terms of the effect it had on the rest of history, but I don't know. We don't really know. We might think that changing something would make things better, but maybe it wouldn't. When did I go to the Alamo? I went to the Alamo, I think it was 2020. No, it was 20. Yeah, it was like February 2020 because I was there on the anniversary. Let's see if I can find it. It's one of my older videos, actually. I didn't take that one down, did I? I might have taken it down because I'm going to re-upload it. Oh, here's my gameplay. This is on my gaming channel when I played Victory or Death, the Alamo. It was crazy.
2 more.
I got to play that again. That was kind of a fun game.
6. Man, we got to take out.
I was trying to defend the Alamo here.
7, 8, 9, 10.
I might have taken that one down, guys. Let me take a look. What do I think of George Custer? I think the things that made him a great combat leader in the Civil War are the same things that got him killed in the Indian Wars. Let me take a look real quick and see if it's still on my channel. Because it might not be. I might have taken it down, guys. Give me a second. I'm going to look it up. Yeah, it's private. That's why. Because I was going to redo that video. But if you want to see it, I'll re-publicize it. It was like the first video I posted on this channel, actually. The very first one. So there, it's live now. Now you guys should be able to see it. EU4 is coming because I'm doing a Crusader Kings 3 series right now, and I'm going to continue that series into EU4. Tora is free on YouTube. Oh, very cool. That's a great movie. Least favorite historical figure. Well, I got a lot, but in American history, one of them would be Woodrow Wilson. Yeah, that's what I'll do, Santis. All right, I'm getting a lot of question. What history grade did I have? All A's. Always A's in history. Actually, I got A's in everything, but... okay, I'm getting a lot of questions here, so... I want to try and get to a couple more memes here before we go. Soldier has rash on leg. Civil War doctor. Chop, chop, chop. Accurate. Absolutely accurate. When will I start a cooking channel? My cooking is not that good. I'm a decent cook. Let's see. I think I joined the wrong Khan Academy. Guys, where are the math tutorials? I'm scared. Okay, that's pretty good. I have never heard anything about George Washington being half Albanian. I think that's probably most definitely not true. That would mean that one of his parents was Albanian. And I'm quite certain that his parents were not Albanian. His mother was, her maiden name was Ball. Here we go. Yeah, Mary Ball's his mother. Augustine Washington was his father. Here are his grandparents. So this guy's German here. So he looks almost all English with just a touch of German in there. Oh, no, actually, that is a German, I think, name, but he was born in the UK. So yeah, I mean, there's no Albanian in George Washington. Certainly not half Albanian. Albanian fake news. No, both parents weren't half Albanian either. Washington's ancestry is almost all British. What was the worst call, Fredericksburg or Pickett's Charge? Pickett's Charge. Because Fredericksburg was a lot closer to being won than people realize. It really was. If things had been better coordinated on the Union left, they would have won that battle. Yeah, I really do like the George Washington actor in Turn Washington Spies. It's the most human version of Washington I've ever seen. Katie Anderson, the party switch is a crock of BS, and that's all I can say about it. There is no such thing as a party switch. Both political parties, the Republicans and the Democrats, have repeatedly shifted platforms in the last 150 years. We have what's called party systems in history. So let me show you what I mean. We're on probably the fifth or sixth what you would call party system. And so all throughout American history, there have been these shifts in the platforms. And so the idea of saying there's a party shift is claiming that Democrats from 100 years ago would be Republicans today, and Republicans of 100 years ago would be Democrats today. It is much, much more complicated than that. Yes, some of the things that Democrats were for politically would now be represented by Republicans and vice versa, but that's true on both sides, and it's really, really much more complicated than that. And I think most of the people who talk about party switch are people who don't want to claim things that their party did 100 years ago, and so the cop-out way of disavowing what their party might have stood for at one time is to say, oh, well, they switched, and they're not the same anymore. So it's a lot more complicated than that is the easiest way to say it. James Longstreet was a Republican after the Civil War, and that got him pretty much disowned in the South. Was sea lion ever possible? I don't think it was. Favorite European empire? The British. History is a set of lies agreed upon. Absolutely agree with that. Zachary, like I said, it's much more complicated than that. You can't compare the parties then to the parties of today either way. Well, Little Krusty, they don't have George Washington's DNA, so I'm not sure where that comes from. George Washington, let's see. All right, we're going to look this up. Since we seem to be pushing this idea of George Washington being Albanian. I'd be curious to see any legit source saying this. According to Reuters. Yeah, not buying it. Sorry. Not buying it at all. Why did I join the biology class? Okay, let's look at a few more memes. That's a bunch all in one thing there. Let's take a look. Someone tried to build the Eiffel Tower in our server, so I built a Bismarck statue to show dominance. That's fantastic. That is really cool. I love it. I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence. France, led by a fun-sized Italian. Europe. He was average height for the time. Napoleon or Grant? Napoleon. I'll take Grant if I wanted somebody to be my best friend. I'd take Napoleon if I need a general to conquer something. William the Conqueror after fake retreating against Harold Godwinson, if that's what he did. Call an ambulance, but not for me. That's pretty good. History Matters. Yeah, we'll check them out at some point. Oscar Schindler, I think he did a lot of good. Shout out to the winners of the first Tour de France. Oh, wow. Ouch. U.S. drops little boy on Hiroshima. Japan, we will never surrender. U.S. Oh, no, we're not done yet. Ouch. Vikings invade England. Panic. They defeated by Harold Godwinson. Calm. The Normans invade England. Panic. That's pretty good. I don't know much about the history of Nepal, unfortunately. German people. So what country are we taking over? Hitler. Yes. Maginot Line. Ardennes Forest and Belgium. Merde. That's awesome. Enlisted gameplay. Yeah, I do need to do more of that. USSR 1990-91. Let's split up, gang. Nice. Favorite portion of history no one knows or isn't famous. Ooh. Because I guess, something being famous is all about, what's famous here might not be famous where you live. I think I find the period of time in between the Norman conquest and the Wars of the Roses in medieval England to be pretty fascinating, and I don't think that's one a lot of people know a lot about. I gotta turn off my sound here. There we go. What awaited the Russians at the finish line in 1999? What awaited the Russians at the finish line? Oh, man. Wow. UK loses Revolutionary War to a bunch of rowdy farmers. US loses Vietnam War to a bunch of rowdy farmers. UK, that's my boy. Oh, man. Favored Roman emperor? Marcus Aurelius. King Philip's War, that's a good one from a time that people don't know a lot about. Yes, the British soldier who, Tandy was his name, I think, wasn't it? Who spared Hitler in the Great War. I have not seen that docuseries about Mehmed II. Favorite pre-contact American nation or city-state? The Aztecs. Always been interested in the Aztecs. I don't know a lot about Hungarian history. I need to learn more since my kids are part Hungarian. Favorite claimant to the throne in 1066? Harold Godwinson, because I think he was the legit king of England at that time, out of all of them. Was northeastern Ohio open to slavery in the 1790s? Possibly. No. I think the Northwest Territory outlawed slavery in 1787. Let me take a look. Yeah. So no, northeastern Ohio would not have been. The Northwest Ordinance outlawed slavery. So northeastern Ohio slavery would have been outlawed after 1787. Germany won. Hey, no big surprise there. Douglas MacArthur's from Arkansas. Wasn't his father from Wisconsin, though? Napoleon or Keanu Reeves? Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves is like the coolest dude ever. He's a really super nice guy and very down to earth and not Hollywood at all. I love Keanu Reeves. He's great. If I had a choice to stop World War II, would I? Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's look at a few more memes here. It's over, Lee. I have the high ground. You underestimate my power. Yeah, that didn't work out so well for Lee at Gettysburg. Paradox game fans be like, yo, this gameplay is fire. Oh, wow. Favorite World War II commander general of whatever rank? Patton. And I say that recognizing that Patton was not necessarily the coolest human being in the world, but he's a fascinating historical figure to study. Gustlick, thank you for signing up as a member. I appreciate that. The Rock or Julius Caesar? The Rock. Worst mistake in history? Oh, but there's so many. Where would one even start? All right, let's take a look at a couple more here. I fear no man, but that thing, it scares me. It's Nathan Bedford Forrest. That's not okay. Yankee Be Gone. Just aim and spray. Repels them every time. Available in Battlefield Under Fire, Northern City Summer, Sweet Southern Breeze. No southern home should be without at least one can for use in case of invasion. Defense of Moscow. What I'm not sure what you're asking me about an update to that. I have seen the Patton movie. My favorite U.S. president, I mentioned this one earlier, it'd be Theodore Roosevelt or Abraham Lincoln. I have seen 2019 movie Midway. I loved it. Henry, you just can't go divorcing all these women. Change team. That's pretty good. I have visited 47 U.S. states. The only 3 I haven't been to are Utah, Rhode Island, and Louisiana. Tyler, thank you. Appreciate that. I have seen the YouTube series Britain's Bloody Crown. Big fan of Dan Jones. I think he's really good and kind of brings a nice modern feel to things. Favorite Ken Burns documentary would be the Civil War, but his documentaries on the Roosevelts and baseball also among my favorites. Would I vote for Kanye West in 2024? No, but let's wait and see who he's running against first, I guess. A general tier list, yeah, I'm working on something with that. Was Dixieland the national anthem of the CSA? They didn't have a national anthem, and if they did, it wouldn't have been Dixieland. It probably would have been Bonnie Blue Flag. Napoleon was tone deaf? Well, he has something in common with my wife then. What U.S. state has the best landscape? The most beautiful U.S. states I've been to would be Alaska, Northern California, Montana, and Maine. But I'm partial to mountains, so I think that might be something to do with it. I have played Civilization 6. Favorite part of Ohio history? I would say kind of the settling of Ohio, the first 50 years or so. Reaction to the defense of Moscow? I did a reaction to that when it came out, actually. Pretty sure I did. Hard to keep track. Yep, right there. There you go. The historian reacts to the defense of Moscow by Sabaton. That was a live stream I did a month ago. What do I think of the state up north? I think so much of it that I won't even say it most of the time. Okay. Jim Crow laws nearly fleed blacks, white Southerners. Yeah, that's unfortunately quite accurate. Strong defense, weak defense. Maginot Line. They don't always work out. The delay's about, 10 seconds. I have been using Memorize to learn German. Let me show you here. So yeah, I just started, but I do have it on there. All right, let's do a few more memes. When you get your heart broken by a Swede. Poland got invaded by Germany and the Soviets, France and the UK. Oh, man. Pretty much. Napoleon or Wellington? Napoleon. Favorite historic or best historic landmark that I've been to? Gettysburg. Tyler, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that you've rediscovered your love for history. Do I speak Hungarian? No. But my mother-in-law, a little bit. Because her father grew up hearing Hungarian at home. Do I like ice hockey? Not a huge fan. All right, we're going to wrap this up in just a minute because I do have to get to making some of my other videos. I am going to stream again tomorrow. And tomorrow's stream is going to be all about talking to you about some of my favorite books, both in my library at home, but also favorite books in general. So I'm going to be recommending some of those to you. But check out all of the links that are in the description of this video, including my gaming channel. I'm going to go record a video for my gaming channel. And we'll be back tomorrow with another stream. Thank you to everybody who donated and who joined, and for all your questions. I apologize if I didn't get to yours. There's a bazillion questions showing up. So I'll see you guys again soon. Thanks for watching.